Well, hello, Thomas.
Hey, Christian.
Welcome to my car
Yeah, thanks.
again.
Yeah.
We're heading over for a meeting in the other Grundfos building here,
Yeah.
and decided that let's do a short, brief, I don't know, New Year's resolution 2016. This is where we're heading.
What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
That's a great idea.
What have we done? No.
That's a too long story, I think.
No, but seriously, what are we going to do? Where are we heading?
I think that for me and for you and the rest of the team, it's about finding the balance between the global working culture stuff we do and the smart worker stuff we do. And the global working culture, of course, is the more innovative and pilot activity that we do, testing things off. And some of the key projects, if we start with that, will definitely be the collaboration analytics. I'm really looking forward to that work. It's about
we have done some.
Yeah,
stuff
we've done some.
on that.
Yeah, we've done some stuff,
Yeah.
and we'll talk a little bit about it in some of the presentations that we've been asked to do.
Yeah.
So it's okay, and we can talk about it here. But I think it's this idea about looking at an individual and trying to make that individual understand exactly how well that person can contribute on a personal, individual level, solving tasks, but also on a level within the team,
Yep.
contributing to solve whatever challenges the team has been assigned to do.
Yep.
And also this new thing that we call networking level. I think that's the big, you can say, challenge intellectually and data-wise, and also just trying to understand what that really is. I mean, how do you contribute outside of your normal teams and boundaries?
Yeah.
That's the challenge that we're in. And
Yeah.
because we can see that a lot of managers, they focus so much on the results and the key performance indicators that they have been assigned,
Yeah.
that they actually don't praise the people enough who actually help other teams contribute or help other teams solve their tasks and succeed with their major challenges. And I think that's important.
But this is not new. I mean,
No.
this from a theory perspective, this has been said for many years.
Yeah.
What's the difference in 2016? Why do we think that we're going to succeed in this?
Well, I think first of all, for me, it seems like that our company and maybe also many industries are getting a much better understanding of the importance of collaborating across boundaries, far away, including the network in solving the problems, but also helping other networks and even networks, you can say like that, like in LinkedIn, third level connections, kind
Yeah.
of that way of thinking. I think that the industry is getting to a point where even managers understand that they need to recognize that this is important
Yeah.
for being able to be agile and speedy, solving the future's challenges.
Yeah.
So I think that's one new thing. So the culture will begin to accept that you can actually work in a kind of network level.
Yeah.
And not be punished because you're not focusing totally on your own single KPIs. One thing. The other thing is that we start to be able to use the data
Yeah.
that is available.
Yeah.
When looking into how are people actually collaborating, how are they using the network to include them, or how do they jump out in a network and help external networks?
Yeah.
And I think that is the new part. We're going to use data, and in our case, we're going to try and integrate data from, for example, Yammer and the Office Graph in our Microsoft portfolio of tools, which are the major collaboration tools we have. And then maybe combine those dashboard thinkings with a push for the appraisal culture.
Yep.
Where we actually try and involve and see how managers can use this input as a dialogue facilitator, more than a kind of scorecard of how good are you at collaborating. So,
But that means that it needs to be analog data or collaboration as well as digital.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's where we're at, and I think that's what makes most sense for us.
Yeah.
If we really want to create a difference, we need to base ourselves on the data, the digital stuff, and the analog stuff. If we try to kind of look at them individually right now, we're not mature enough.
No.
It will never succeed.
No.
So we have to combine it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the key projects in global working culture this year. And it integrates into stuff like the rich profile that we're trying to build on every Grundfos employee. What do we know about each other, and how do we actually tap into that knowledge and use it to get better at solving problems faster and more effectively together as a big organization. This working as a network is still very much a kind of vision for what we're looking at. Like, those are two key projects for us this year in global working culture. And maybe we should also mention personas. We're starting to try to accelerate certain archetypes or personas.
Internal archetypes.
That's true. We're trying to find ways to carve them out, picture them so that everyone is in our field, meaning within information solutions and information technology, that we're carving them out so that everyone can optimize their work in order to help this type of person get more effective and get a better user experience, get happier, get more productive. That's basically what we're trying to do. And I think that getting personas into everything that drives a decision in IS, meaning our IT department, that will bring us forward too.
And again, that's not a technical perspective or entry into that. That's again behavior and culture. It's a different way of thinking how we apply these things into the work that we do.
It's addressing the mindset of wanting to take the end user as much as we possibly can into consideration when we make decisions on that person's behalf as to how will a certain technology work, how easy will it be, how fast will it be.
So it's customer experience, but internally employee experience.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
I think that's global working culture. That will be 2016 for us. And when it comes to smart worker, which is about scaling, if we find something that has been really brilliant, we want everyone to be able to do that. And sometimes we want them to do that. It's not even an option. So I think that team is really also getting into speed, and they have a good framework now where they kind of look at a portal where you can get self-service support, a communication track, meaning that we also need to tell the organization about what's available and how should you use it. So this pushing for adoption, pushing for good adoption, correct adoption, if you will, I think is important. And then also the metrics. Starting to find ways to communicate how far are we actually in getting Grundfos as a whole up to speed with use of certain tools or technologies that everyone recognizes will be helpful for the organization to adopt.
What could that be, for instance? What type of metrics?
It could be use of SharePoint and Yammer, the integration, and then measuring how many people are actually using SharePoint and Yammer to the extent we wish. And also, and this is where we have the interface with the crossing with our collaboration analytics. Also, how do they use it? What do they actually do in terms of file collaboration? How does it work in practical terms? How do they click? How do they share? And how do they communicate on Yammer, for example? Those two things are examples. But I think the adoption team, the smart worker team, is also going to have a really interesting 2016. And we can see that all delivery areas, all functions in IT have actually understood now what's it about. And we will probably even start measuring our managers on how well they actually use the smart worker team. So I think that's absolutely fabulous. So 2016 will be a great year.
It will. There's so many good.
It is already.
It is already 1 month down the line. Excellent. Well, that's a very good introduction. We'll do some more deep dives into some of these, as you said, in different presentations, etc. But I thought it was a good idea to kind of just do an overview like this.
But I think that's.
And to the audience, if they have any questions, of course, they're welcome to contact either you, and here will be a little placeholder now with your name and contact details, or me, of course.
Great.
And I hope to see you in next month.
I think we will.
High five.
High five.
Thank you.